Hey there, Wondering Watchers. Welcome to this pick a card reading that reveals what you should know about your future spouse. Whether you're dating, going through a breakup, or are even engaged right now, this reading explores aspects of your future spouse's personality, how you would impact their lives, and how they would impact yours. I'm going to insert a disclaimer right here in that this reading presumes you will continue on a path that is in alignment with your best and highest good, meaning you can't just withdraw from life and expect that someone with the characteristics identified in these cards will appear at your door with a name tag that says your future spouse on it. Though that would be a funny Halloween costume. So just remember that these cards provide perspective, and it's your choices and actions that lead to your ultimate truth. You have agency over your life, and you get to decide how to live it. So if you are new to pick card readings, I'll quickly cover the process. For those of you ready to learn about your future spouse right now, the link to each reading is in the description box below. So jump to the reading, which I will start with a quick check-in of your energy so that you have further confirmation of whether the deck you choose is right for the reading. So in front of me, I have 4 piles of cards. Pile number 1, the Whimsical Oracle deck. Pile number 2, 78 Tarot Animal, Tarot of the Wilds. Pile number 3, Spellcasting Oracle cards. And pile number 4, the Wandering Soul Oracle. So you should pick the pile of cards that you feel drawn to the most. You can choose a pile by the look of the cards. You can flip a coin. Or blindly point a finger to the screen. There's not a wrong way for you to pick a pile. You can also pick more than one pile for the reading. If you are hoping to hear a specific message that you don't get in your initial reading, then feel free to pick a different pile, as the message might be part of that other pile's reading. But keeping an open mind will help you to pick up on the messages that you don't anticipate, but addresses the same things that you're wanting to hear. So if you don't hear a particular message in any of the readings, then it may be that it is not for your best and highest good to hear that message at this time. So if you need to, go ahead and pause the video to meditate, clear your mind, whatever you feel you need for your reading. Go ahead and choose your future spouse adventure pile, and let's make magic happen. Welcome back. This is a reading for group number 1, those who picked Whimsical Oracle. Before we get into information about your future spouse, we're going to start off with an energy check to see if this is something that sounds like you, to give you more confirmation in selecting this deck, or if it doesn't, to go ahead and pick a different deck. So you have here Rabbit Spirit, now is a lucky time. You have Regret, the Chariot, and Adventure. So this is going to be an energy check of, for you, it could be at this time, it could be at the time that you meet your future spouse or did meet your future spouse. So with this now is a lucky time card, this kind of indicates that you had gone through a period of feeling that things were just coming to you, that you were like jumping into new situations and things were just, coming to life for you, where you were feeling a bit apprehensive at first, but able to kind of see that everything was fine, and you were able to kind of grow your ideas, your projects, your friend groups, whatever it is that you were feeling lucky about. So with this regret here, it's almost a regret of having hesitated. You have the Chariot and this Adventure card. So for you, it seems that your biggest struggles are actually getting the courage to really get yourself together to make a move. You might be able to plan it, you might be able to envision it, but actually to go through the actions of getting outside of your comfort zone, getting into a place where you're at least trying, and if you're failing, that's fine. But it just seems that the initial start of your journeys, your tasks, whether it is applying for a job, actually going on a trip that you've been planning for years, or if it's, actually making a move to like a new location, to a new city, something along those lines. And so if that sounds like you, then group number 1, let's find out about your future spouse. You have this hidden card. So it may be that your future spouse is not yet known to you, or that aspect, if it is someone that you know, that aspect of the person that you actually end up marrying is still hidden, in the sense of not intentionally, but still hasn't really made an appearance yet in your life. You have indulge. So your future spouse may be someone that connects to you because they have a sweet tooth, and it doesn't matter if you do or don't have a sweet tooth. It's something that it's almost a sense of a teasingness that I kind of sense. Like, you'll go to dinner and they'll ask if you want dessert, and you know that they will always want to have dessert. You have balance. So here it's a sense that your future spouse will not only have a sense of balance for themselves, they'll have the ability to kind of balance you out and also help you when it comes to your hesitations of actually taking action and moving forward. So if it's a point of view that you need to see, or if it's certain types of encouragement, then your future spouse will be able to provide that for you. You have this dig deep card. So for them, they are also going to be processing things for themselves. So you have this hidden and this dig deep. So they are in the process of finding the true them as well. Not that it's anything to be concerned about, but just to know that in a sense they are in an adventure of their own, in terms of kind of embracing who they're going to become, where they can be a partner to you, be your spouse, and then transform together. You have Ace of Pentacles. So your future spouse may be right now trying to build up prosperity, focusing on career, maybe investments. To some degree, that may be blocking them from kind of being able to express the true them. It's almost a sense of they are looking for something in the material world, something to do with like finances, a way to identify themselves that will give them, money in the future. So that is kind of obscuring their who they are when they are ready to kind of unite with you. You have the Hermit. So your future spouse may be a little bit withdrawn right now. They may be someone who doesn't go out a lot, someone who is, really focusing on their next step, their journeys. And, to some degree, it could be someone that is, because they are starting out, trying to build up a financial security for the future. It may be that they also don't really go out a lot because of financial means. They might not really dress fancy or flashy, at least for right now, or at least for when you are kind of becoming aware of who they are. You have 9 of Cups. So your future spouse is someone who is really, when you're around them, you get a sense that they're happy. There's nothing that they want, that they can't get for themselves, or there's someone who really wants to, is kind of taking care of other people as well, making sure that they are, happy, doing well, kind of like, is there something that I'm going to go get a drink? Do you want a drink type of person? You have 2 of Swords. So your future spouse is someone who also, as I was saying, trying to figure out the true them. And to some degree, this Hermit and 2 of Swords are similar in the sense of really feeling not isolated in a bad way. It's more voluntary, that they are kind of going through a situation where they're trying to tap into more of their emotions, but they're very practical as well. That's why there's this focus on finances, things in the material world, and kind of being stuck on, certain facts. Once they tap into more of their, going with the heart and their intuition and following that, they'll be able to kind of get to that, deeper part of themselves that they are trying to tap into. You have well-being. So your future spouse is someone who wants to make sure that they are they're good, even though they have that sweet spot or sweet tooth. There's someone who really does take care of themselves. They want to make sure they're not living beyond their means, or that they are, they might not be super athletic, but they want to make sure that they're healthy. You have blessings. So to some degree, there is kind of like a spiritual aspect that your future spouse will kind of need to kind of go through in order to really become that person that you end up being with. So to some degree, your aspect of luck, this lucky time, that kind of plays into what it is that they might be experiencing. Like, it might be however you meet, it's some type of divine timing, some kind of synchronicity, some type of strange coincidence that kind of for you is luck and for them is kind of like a sign of something. Here you have strength. So your future spouse is someone who wants to be supportive and intends on being a strong individual for whoever it is that they end up being with, which is why there's this kind of focus on really on creating something for the future and being okay with not having to go out all the time, saving their money, figuring out their plan for moving forward. But, they will find that really their calling does, require them to interact with people a little bit more. And you have transformation. So here, your future spouse is someone that you will kind of come across. You might even help when they're doing this transformation of, transforming more into their emotional aspects, or, really embracing their intuition, or the might not be super spiritual, but just a recognition there's something greater than themselves, and kind of seeing it in other people, or being reminded of that aspect in other people, and possibly being reminded of that by you. And so you may be a huge part of their transformation. It might not be like the start of it, or the majority of it, but it will be a significant part of that transformation. So you have this protected. So for right now, your future spouse is really trying to protect themselves, whatever it is, and protect the person that they ultimately want to be with in the future. So that's how they're seeing it right now, is that they are kind of they're doing more the practical thing and focusing on creating something, being financially stable, focusing either on a new job, new career, something that will give them money for the future. You have this see beyond. So again, this concept of learning to tap into more their intuition, as opposed to looking at the facts, looking at the numbers, seeing the practical aspects of things. That is, if you are talking to someone you're interested in, dating, something along those lines, and they're intrigued by this concept of trusting your intuition, even if it has to do with things in the material world, that like trusting your intuition when it comes to investments, or the next product, or the next big thing, and kind of like going off their intuition from that. You have this illusion card. So here, they may feel that there is a sense of illusion, fantasy, things that are not in the practical material world, things that are not fact. They may go through a period, or dealing with it right now, of thinking that is not something that's positive. They might have really like ideas of, maybe when they were younger, how they studied. Maybe there's someone who, when they do math, they look up into they gaze up to the side so that they can think in their head how to do a math problem. But maybe a parent or a teacher, someone said, hey, stop daydreaming, focus on this. So to some degree, it may be that they are trying to get around this idea of things that you envision, or something that's more creative, or dealing with, emotional aspects, or things that you can't see, even like health and well-being, things that you can't see with the naked eye. Just, if you're a nutritionist, you can look at someone, but you can look at what they eat, but you kind of have to, put together a meal plan for them and see how that works, because you can't, it's something that it's not set in stone. It doesn't work for everyone the same way. So it could be that your future spouse has that kind of block in the sense of tapping into their intuition, because at some point back in their past, they were, admonished for doing something that helped them. It was related to illusion, but they weren't praised for it. Then you have this consciousness. So here, it is the concept of your future spouse is learning different ways of learning, recognizing it. There aren't just facts. There aren't just, numbers and objective, everyone can see type of learning. There's a way to connect and see value in things that are, tapping into something that's either internal, you can't see, external, can't see, something greater than them, their intuition, and those types of things. So we're going to close off here with a couple messages from your future spouse. So you have turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. And you have netcaster, preparations come to fruition. So this message here from your future spouse is kind of letting you know that it may be some time either before you meet or for them to go through this transformation, but they are kind of preparing to be in that place to, be your future spouse. And they also want you to prepare for that as well, and to kind of be able to move forward, take those initial steps, and not really hesitate when it comes to either new adventures, new projects, because for now they are in this kind of protected, kind of a little bit closed off. Not that's intentional and going to be the case, but that is working for them right now because of what their current goals are. So you might need to be the one that really pushes things a little bit forward, but pushing things in a way that's more allowing for a setting for things to happen, recognizing that things might need to be a little bit slow and steady for them so that they can kind of go through this transformation that they'll need your help on. So I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is a reading for group number 2, those who pick 78 Tarot Animal, Tarot of the Wild. Before we get into information about your future spouse, we are going to do an energy check to see if this is the right pile for you. So either giving you some confirmation that this is the right pile, or to go ahead and take a look at a different pile. So these are going to be characteristics about you that you might have right now, or you may have when you and your future spouse get together. So you have pig spirit, use your mind wisely. You have rejection, the magician, and message. So group number 2, you are someone that is smart, intelligent. You may have an advanced degree, college degree. You're someone that can apply life experience and analyze the situation very well. When it comes to dealing with rejection, this intellectual aspect helps you to kind of reason away any type of, you still have feelings that might be hurt if you are the one being rejected, or even if you're the person doing the rejection, but you are approaching those situations in a way that is logical, but also fair, and kind of wanting the best for everyone involved. So if there is a situation where you are rejected, you might feel initially bummed out, but you recognize, okay, it's not for the best. It's obviously wasn't going to be working out. I'm going to move on. I'm going to do something else. And so with this magician here, you really are kind of learning a sense of control over your emotions. You are learning to kind of be more confident, and it's kind of an approach of, if things work out, they do, they don't, they don't. I will be fine either way, and you'll still have your smarts, you'll have your experience, and you will be able to kind of move on and that can be for romantic relationships, friendships, jobs. And then with this message card here, it's a sense of recognizing that you can communicate in different ways other than just using words. It's as if you are recognizing the power of just facial expressions, how you even wear certain clothes, how you stand. It really kind of can show off your confidence or not confidence. If you go somewhere and you don't want to talk to someone, you know how to kind of slouch in a certain way where you kind of, give off this vibe of don't talk to me. If you want to engage, you have a way of kind of brightening up and, attracting people to you. So group number 2, let's get into information about your future spouse. So if this sounds like you, or sounds like aspects of you or things that you're working on, then go ahead and keep finding out about this future spouse of yours. And if you're not sure, then definitely trust your intuition. Maybe look at this and another one. So here you have the 7 of Cups. So your future spouse is someone who might want to provide gifts to other people, make them feel special in a certain way, connect with them in a certain way. And with you, it's a sense that They want to they're going to want to shower you with certain things, certain gifts, but they're trying to figure out what that is for you. So if you have a certain favorite flower, or if you like a certain type of food, or if you like a certain type of movie, or if you are allergic to things, definitely let them know, because they're going to want to give you what you want. And if you don't tell them, they're going to fall into a thing of they don't want to get it wrong. So just be aware of that. You have the Queen of Swords. So your future spouse may come off as a little bit distant. They are also someone who is intellectual, whether it is from like a standard education, or even just like, living life. They have an experience, they've experienced a lot of life, and that doesn't necessarily mean they're older or younger. As you get to know them, you'll see that they have learned things the hard way a lot of their life. And so they are very much independent. They very much are the type of person that is going to be honest. They're going to not really put up with a lot of BS. And it may take a little bit to to connect to them in a more emotional way. They will show that they like you in the way that they kind of perceive is the right way, which is why there's this, concept of they will try to get you what you like, or, give you what you want. But you really do have to convey to them what that is. And, they're not going to be able to, at least initially, they're not going to be able to just read your mind or know, what you want. You have the Five of Pentacles. So your future spouse, when you meet them, or some period in their life, are going to be financially struggling. It might be, contributing to this, like, learning life the hard way, or learning lessons. They may have not had certain financial resources, or they might have been in a position where they just weren't feeling that they had a place to go. It could be that, their parents neglected them, or their parents, passed away when they were at an early age, or they just didn't have a lot of money. But it's a sense of they know how to protect themselves, and they don't have that expectation that people will just take care of them, because in their past they were in that situation where they could have used that type of that care, that oversight, to feel welcome, and to be shown, like, a lot of good things in life. And it probably wasn't available for them, or they didn't know how to access it. You have the Nine of Swords. So your future spouse may have situations where they take on a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. They might deal with, they might be struggling at times. And it could be because of, trying to protect themselves, trying to be independent, but also they are learning how to let other people in. And that's something that you might be able might be able to help them with, especially when you've got this ability to kind of deal with rejection in a good way. So in a sense, if they're having, they suffer from headaches, nightmares, things along those lines, if they are feeling a bit like withdrawn and not really, feeling their normal confident self, you know how not to really take it personally. You know how to kind of use your mind wisely and see what's being triggered there, and use your mannerisms, your unique way of communicating, where they feel comforted, feel soothed. They feel that they are, welcome, taken care of. You have blessings here. So your future spouse is really going to be going through a period, or need to go through a period, where they recognize that there is good out there waiting for them, and to be able to see it, to be able to recognize it, because for the most part, they very much are clear-headed. They're focused on what they want. They're not really looking at, signs, or trying to connect the more mystical aspects together. You have dreams. So your future spouse may have issues with nightmares. I would say, maybe suggest to them keeping a dream journal. Actually, it reminds me of how my husband, we were dating, he would sleepwalk, and it turns out that he was sleepwalking because he had sleep apnea, and now that he has a CPAP to deal with the sleep apnea, he doesn't sleepwalk anymore. So it's kind of a sense where I'm getting that you would be able to help them kind of, see things that they're not able to see. Maybe you can recognize aspects of, like, patterns of, when they have migraines or when they have nightmares, something along those lines. And maybe you can, suggest to them talking to a counselor or something. You have new beginnings. So here, for your future spouse, this connection that you guys would have is going to be an opportunity for them to kind of feel that sense of comfort, get that sense of support that they might not have had over the years, and allow for them to really not only strive for the things that they might not have before, but really be able to appreciate the small things. Not that they didn't before, but almost in a way soften up a little bit. Then you have this prosperity card. So your future spouse, it may be that until they kind of come to this place where you're helping them and soften up, well, not until that happens, but it's as if that occurring will allow for this prosperity to start in their life, in both of their lives. Whereas before, maybe they didn't see that as being a potential. They kind of were just prepared for, just having what they needed, exactly what they needed and nothing more. But here it's a sense of they're going to, the two of you together is kind of going to open up a new way for your spouse to really, or your future spouse to really experience experience life. You have this ignite. So, if you have rejection going on, this person will, ignite a spark again. To some degree, oh, I'm noticing the little crescent shape thing here. It could be that this is someone that you meet during a breakup of some sort, maybe a friend of someone that a relationship didn't work out with, but there's going to be a sense of passion between the two of you. And it may catch your eye in the sense that it's not something you would expect from this person. You have sacred cycles. So here it may be that these dreams, these headaches, these whatever it is where they're kind of really struggling, comes in a pattern that you help them figure out. Is it around the holidays? Is it around, do they eat certain foods and they start feeling this way? Is it when they talk to a relative, they start, being a certain way? But this is where you being the type of person that you are, being someone who is analytical, someone who can kind of pick up subtle things, you might be able to see this pattern and help them kind of, deal with that. You have this ancient records card. So to some degree, your future spouse is dealing with things that are kind of deeply rooted in their past. It could be their home life growing up, or even some kind of karmic lessons that they are learning. And then you have this direction card. So a sense that they are kind of figuring themselves out. But really, if they are in this pattern and they, without some direction, it's going to be really hard for them to get to these new beginnings. And, dealing with their struggles is something that it's almost like they don't trust their internal compass because of certain aspects of either feeling not worthy, other people saying they're not worthy, feeling that they have to do things on their own, feeling like they have to solve all the problems on their own. And then you have this strength card here. So to some degree, they want to be a very strong person, but also they're going to need someone just as strong, someone who is not, physically strong, but strong emotionally, strong mentally, to kind of to be that person that supports them. So let's see what else we have. We have this weight card. It seems like, the good things are going to be coming around for your future spouse when it comes to like prosperity and recognizing, like the little miracles going on around them. It's going to take some time for them. You have indulge. So when you kind of do start noticing that change in them, they might be a little hesitant to kind of recognize that things are going well. And you may need to encourage them to indulge a little bit more, to really embrace what is being offered to them. Okay, so group number 2, you have twin flames. So to some degree, there is a connection that you two have that is beyond, time and space. And here it might be that this change, this new beginning for your future spouse is going to, ignite a new beginning for you as well. And so it should be, an exciting time for both of you. And then you have this gaining speed. So to some degree, really once you unlock this aspect of whatever patterns that your future spouse is kind of dealing with, where they're stressed or their thoughts aren't really helping them, and their sense of value is self-value is not really there. Once you help them regain that sense of an inner compass where they can kind of recognize for themselves when things are going wrong, see the patterns for themselves and put things in place so that they're, moving forward. This is going to happen quickly, but the prosperity aspect of it might take a little bit longer. So this, once they see what you see with their pattern, with what their triggers are, they'll embrace whatever they need to embrace in order to deal with things smoothly. So I'm going to close off the reading here with a couple messages from your future spouse. You have Otter Spirit. You are never alone, possibly because you have this twin flame over here. And you have Fortune's Wheel, Luck, and Right Timing. So here, this Otter Spirit, you are never alone. This is kind of a message of recognizing there's love all around, being playful, and here this concept of luck and right timing. It could be that this your future spouse, who is usually a little bit more what's the word, stoic, a little bit more serious. It may be that a little bit of cute, playful interaction, luck and right timing kind of will be that foundation for this initial spark that brings you together. So I'm hoping that this provides a helpful perspective, and we'll see you next time. Take care, group number 2. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 3, those who pick Spellcasting Oracle cards. Before we reveal details about your future spouse, we're doing this quick energy check. This will focus on your energy so that you can determine if this is the right pile for your reading. This may refer to your current energy, what you're working towards, or your energy at the time of meeting your future spouse, whether that may be in the past or in the future. So trust your intuition to lead you to the right reading for you. So you have here Owl Spirit, you see clearly now, Respect, Temptation, and the Moon. So for you, group number 3, there's a sense that you may in the past have difficulty dealing with uncertainty and trusting your intuition, but you are, based on this energy, going to be in a position where you can take an overarching view of things objectively from a higher perspective, and then be able to narrow in on specific aspects as needed. So you can manage your way through situations where there is a lack of certainty, And then also you're at a place where you can trust yourself more, trust your intuition. You have this moon card. So here, this is about tapping into your intuition and being able to maneuver through situations where things are hidden, secretive, unclear, and possibly where there are obstacles that lay in your path, but those obstacles are more reflective of how you feel inside as opposed to the true landscape of the path that you're going down. You have this card of temptation here. So perhaps there is some aspect of you that has certain patterns when it comes to things that would pose an obstacle to you. It could be perhaps you tend to be pessimistic, so things are more the obstacles are really difficult. Perhaps you are have an addiction to coffee, so that your path is going to be really difficult for you to get through times where you have to, stay up late, or you need to be focused and you're not having that coffee. Whatever it is that is your weakness, then those things are going to either come up as obstacles in your path, or you will seek out those things to try to overcome obstacles that do either arise on your journey or you think they might arise. But now with you having this owl spirit with the clear sight, it's going to be easier for you. And you also have this card of respect. So this is an understanding that you're coming from a place where you understand that you matter and that you demand that others respect you, and you show the same type of respect in return. And that you kind of see that that's kind of one building block of a relationship with your future spouse, in that basically if there's a lack of respect shown towards you, or they don't respect themselves, then it's easier for you to kind of know whatever lies ahead for you and that person is unlikely to be a lifetime commitment. You're looking for someone where they understand who they are, and that they are worthy of finding true love, and that you recognize that you are as well. So group number 3, let's go ahead and get some details about your future spouse. You have courage. So group number 3, your future spouse is someone who is full of heart. There's someone who is like a leader. They might be a fire sign, they might be a Leo, or they might just have that passion of those fire signs. Someone who is, might not really come out into view until they're ready, because otherwise they are, like you, they are seeing clearly, and they are kind of watching from a distance a little bit more. You have well-being. So group number 3, your future spouse is going to have that aspect of self-respect, and they're going to be able to give you respect as well. A sense of emotional, mental and physical well-being is really important to them. They might even be someone who is into physical fitness, someone who is like a long distance runner, long distance what are those skiers that they just ski on flat land for the longest time? One of those people. You have beauty. So group number 3, for you, you should know that your future spouse is going to think that you are absolutely beautiful. They are going to see beauty on your good days, on your bad days, on your sideways days. Basically, they are going to be able to, again, like you, have that sense of clarity, seeing beyond the superficial, and they're going to see the true you. And they're probably going to be a looker themselves, and possibly gain a lot of attention. So you might also get a lot of attention for how you appear, and they will as well. And you have this card of good luck. So your future spouse is going to be like your good luck charm, where you are going to be doing fine on your own, but it's as if you and your future spouse together are just killing it everywhere you go. So if you go to like a trivia night, it's a sense of the two of you just rock the whole house. Or if you go to like a karaoke club, it's a sense of you two are together, just this power duo. So let's see what else we have here. You have this card of consciousness. So I think this has come up at least once or twice before. But this here is a card that kind of indicates that your future spouse is going to be able to be aware of more than just facts. From what they see, they're going to be able to tap into something greater. They might be able to tap into the collective. They might be able to kind of, even to some degree, read your mind or sense your wants and needs. And it's part of their kind of like their good luck charm, is being able to sense things that others might not be aware of. There is this gateway card. So group number 3, your future spouse is really able to, again, be able to kind of tap into something that's more than meets the eye. Able to kind of, I want to say that your future spouse is going to be one of those people who is like some type of caregiver, hospice worker, someone who is really maybe fascinated by, I want to say like the spiritual, like ghosts, supernatural things. Fascinated with the concept of an other supernatural type of reality, whether it is something you believe in or don't believe in. It's a sense that your future spouse is going to enjoy talking about the potential, the possibilities, and also enjoy talking about things that are kind of otherworldly, like space exploration. You have this burn card. So your future spouse is going to do as much as they can to, get what they want, to be there for the people that need them, to really help kind of be a guiding light for others. What you might need to help your future spouse with is making sure that they don't burn themselves out, that they actually, indulge a little in themselves, that they recognize that they don't always have to be there for other people, being courageous, or, making things easier for other people. And there's this card of cleanse. So another aspect of your future spouse, group number 3, is that they know who to kind of have in their life and who not to have in their life. And that's kind of the part of that aspect of good luck as well, is and that sense of them also being able to see clearly, see, behind what is just at face value. They're able to kind of sense things about people, or they believe they can sense those things, and based on that, they really do a good job of getting rid of things that aren't for their best and highest good and embracing things that are. So it may be that these individuals, like I said, they might be athletic, they might have a certain diet regimen that they follow, at least every now and then, to kind of feel healthier. They might even be very, very, very neat and tidy, but they definitely they're the type of person that if there is like clutter around them, then it really kind of annoys them and kind of blocks them. But that's just because they are, it's almost like they're very sensitive. So group number 3, you have this trip card. So it may be for some of you that your future spouse is someone that you meet or have met while on vacation. It also could be that you enjoy traveling together. To some degree, it seems that they are the type of person also kind of getting a sense of, cats kind of darting out in front of you and then kind of almost tripping on them. I get the sense that your future spouse is someone who will constantly kind of point out things to avoid, like watch your step there, be aware of that, and possibly, I want to say light on their feet for some reason. You have victory awaits, and you can see here there is a swing, and when you are on a swing, your feet are up in the air. And so they're very light on their feet on a swing. So here, victory awaits. Not only is your future spouse someone who is courageous and a leader, they are really poised for victory in their life, whatever it is, whether it's winning a decathlon, or if it's doing some type of cross-country skiing. That's what I was thinking. Some type of cross-country skiing thing. Basically, they are going to be very good at whatever it is they want to achieve. You have this on fire card. So again, a sense that your future spouse could be a fire sign, someone who is passionate, someone who likes, and there's this burn card as well, likes to really feel the energy surging through their veins. Really excited playing games. I mentioned like trivia and things like that, but it seems like their game, it might be video games, but if you challenge them to race to the car, race to the front door, just be prepared. And you have this card of baggage, which is, with this trip card, it's a sense of recognizing that, like, this could be an actual trip that you would go on, or you need to be prepared to kind of not have your own baggage when you're with your future spouse, because they are very much in this, cleanse, being really wanting that victory. And so if there are certain things in your life that weigh you down, whatever these temptations are, they are definitely going to meet you halfway. But if you have baggage because of all this, fire, this passion, they might have a little bit of temper. They might be a little jealous. You never know. So let's find out some more about your future spouse. Let's take this card. Oh, it's 3 of Swords. So here, your future spouse has had some experiences in life where they've been disappointed. They've probably been in, relationships where they loved someone and there was some kind of hurt, disappointment, possibly dishonesty. And so here, them taking this route of being really, embracing this sense of good health, sense of kind of being energized. To some degree, it could be like almost this concept of like sweating out the old, or like someone who, instead of, it could be work related, where they kind of, if they have some kind of bad relationship, bad outcome, where they focus on something, it's a sense that your future spouse focuses on health, on stamina, on it's not working out, but just focuses on what they can control, which is their health and their body. You have the Devil here. So, group number 3, what you should know about your future spouse is they may have, again, in the past, also had issues that they, like certain temptations that they couldn't control. They may have ate a lot of junk food when they were younger. It may be that it's tied into their focus on their current health or what they want to do for the future. So if this is, if they felt in the past that they didn't have a lot of, or they felt they were giving control to someone else in the relationship, them focusing on their health, their strength, their stamina, their energy, having a sense of cleanliness is their way of kind of regaining control in their life. You have the Sun. So group number 3, one thing you should be aware of is that, again, energy is really key to your future spouse. How they wherever they gain this sense of energy, it seems to be through, physical fitness, through a sense of, physical health. What this also kind of indicates is also, it's like it's not a peacock here, it's a rooster, but it's making me think of being cocky, being really, the ego can kind of flare up, kind of like solar flares. So just be aware of that aspect. It might be part of what draws you to your future spouse. And you have 6 of Wands. So definitely this concept of victory and really being kind of like, you got this lion, and you've got the gorilla. You've got like these kind of king of the jungle type of energies going on right here. So I'm going to close off the reading with some messages from your future spouse. So we have here, while these two wanted to come out. So you have Antelope Spirit, life is speeding up. And Rhino Spirit, overcome any obstacle. So yes, you can overcome any obstacle. That's encouragement for you. And this life is speeding up. So that is kind of about your future spouse in terms of what's energizing them. Really, it seems like you need to be on your toes with your future spouse. Actually, I'm going to pull one from this deck. Your final message here from your future spouse. You have Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences. So again, this concept of, for you, certain temptations that you have, and for your future spouse, group number 3, their determination to keep things clean for them and to be, focus on health and speed and power. It seems like physical power in their life. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're looking to, dominate you or other people. It just seems that they have a physical need for energy to be pumping through them, and there is that possibility of a little bit of being headstrong, and possibly a fire sign. So I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 4, those who picked the pile of the Wandering Soul Oracle. Before we reveal details about your future spouse, we are going to do this quick energy reading that focuses on your energy, so you can determine if this is the right pile for your reading. This may refer to your current energy, what you're working on, or your energy at the time of meeting your future spouse, whether that has already occurred or has not yet occurred. So here, trust your intuition to lead you to the right reading. But you have here Sandpiper Spirit, be playful, the Magician, freedom, and curiosity. So group number 4, with this energy, there is a sense that you have been kind of, in the past, limiting your abilities, perhaps a little bit more serious, really working on becoming skilled and talented in whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish, either career-wise, your personal power-wise. There is a sense that you are building up this confidence and ability to really kind of manifest what it is that you want into reality. There is a sense of, a need for you to be a little bit more open, and this playful and curiosity, a sense of having your imagination, your childlike playfulness really come out a little bit. You may be really focused in studies or trying to become more independent, more like mature, but there is a call for you to kind of see what you're missing, and to have a little bit more fun in life. So group number 4, let's get some information here about your future spouse. You have preserving time. So group number 4, your future spouse is someone who really is in the present, is in the now. They might be someone who is into photography, but they are more into, they're a visual person, and they're really into connecting with you in the moment. So this playfulness, this curiosity is going to help you in the sense of, with your future spouse, being a little bit more spontaneous, having, conversations that you might be random, might be unique. And I'm trying to find a good example of that. But it's as if your future spouse doesn't like doing things that are like mundane and expected. It may be more like the time that you are doing things together, as opposed to showing them how much you know or how experienced you are. Like, I don't even know why I'm thinking of, like going to like mini golf or like arcades for that type of gameplay. Something in the moment. You don't have to necessarily be physically like stellar. They're not going to ask you to go necessarily rock climbing. Maybe they will, but basically they are someone who isn't really going to be impressed by something that they can't see, feel, hear, or experience in the moment. You have memories here. So group number 4, your future spouse wants to spend that time with you and create those memories together. They, again, are not necessarily looking for hearing about, they want to know about you, but they want to be able to do things with you and create your own memories together. So if you really enjoyed, a trip somewhere, then they would actually, prefer going on a trip with you. You have this escape card, and you have this freedom card. So to some degree, your future spouse understands what it is like for you to have a very structured life. And this is something that they have possibly worked hard to kind of get away from, a sense of, being restricted, a sense of having to follow certain rules, which is also kind of why they like being and doing in the present time, because they spent so much time thinking about what they wanted to do. They just want to do those things now. You have this card of burn. So group number 4, your future spouse is really someone who will do a lot. They will pursue their goals. They will pursue you, and they will do what they can. I would say to some degree, you need to make sure they don't burn out. And you being playful, you kind of allowing them to kind of not always have to lead the way. That's something that they'll really enjoy. To some degree, they're willing to help you kind of learn to be adventurous and learn to fly and get outside of your comfort zone. They want to be that guiding light for you, but to some degree, you need to make it something that is easy for them to want to do. So if they have to constantly convince you, that's not something that they're going to want to do. You have positive. So your future spouse, group number 4, is going to be someone who sees things through rose-colored glasses. They are going to see the glass as, half full and willing to be even more full and overflowing. You have this shine brightly. So group number 4, your future spouse is someone who will draw attention. With this burn card, with this positivity and shining brightly, and being in the now, your future spouse is going to be fun. It's going to draw attention from other people in a positive way. So to some degree, you need to be good with that. You need to step up to that playful, positive shininess. And, when everyone's fawning over your future spouse and how great they are, you need to embrace that as well. You have indulge. So your future spouse, group number 4, is going to want to do things, I want to say to the extreme, but now it's making me think of rock climbing, but it's more like doing playful, fun things, like, eating ice cream sundaes in bed. Again, they've already done those rules. They want to do what they want, within reason, and to have fun. And there's this allow card. So group number 4, your future spouse is really open to receiving, is really open to letting things go the way they need to go. Again, not about restrictions, not about the past, not about necessarily the future, but in the now, and allowing things to go their natural course. And so this sense of, this sense of being playful and being curious is really going to help you, instead of asking about the future, trying to get things that are like set in stone, being curious about where things could go. So, to some degree, there may be a period of time where you're not sure if your future spouse is wanting to be serious or not, because you are looking for something committed and they are looking for something that is more not committed, but not confining. So there's just, needing to find a happy, middle ground. So here you have the Six of Cups. So group number 4, your future spouse is someone who they did have a good childhood growing up. And there is aspects of themselves that even though they might not, want to talk about their childhood, it may be that something is private, personal, and in time they'll talk to you about. But to some degree, it has to do with their desire to be a guiding light. It might be that someone, like a parent, was a guiding light for them, and really, for whatever reason, I'm kind of thinking someone who might not be around anymore, maybe even a grandparent, someone who really helped them to live in the now and to be fun and to really, they can accomplish anything. And it's a sense of they have embraced that kind of teaching, that life lesson. Here is this World card. So group number 4, your future spouse is someone who is like a larger than life kind of personality, someone who definitely has goals and does accomplish them, and isn't afraid to change. So if you're someone who is uncomfortable with change, that's something to be aware of. But here with this Magician card that you have and this sense of curiosity, it does kind of indicate that, you can create whatever environment, whatever you need in your environment, whatever you want in your environment. So to that extent, this sense of change, that's something that, would be good for you. As long as you are okay with, change. Here you have Temperance. So group number 4, your future spouse is someone who is well balanced. They have a sense, it's like everything they do, there's a positive vibe. There's a positive spirit that runs through their veins. They are someone who, for the most part, is even keeled. They like to have fun. They like to indulge from time to time, but they don't seem to be prone to certain like addictions or bad habits. You have the 5 of Cups. So here, group number 4, your future spouse does seem to, again, want to have this sense of living in the now and freedom, possibly because of some connection to a parent, a grandparent, someone that they cared about that may have passed away, someone where there was, some kind of loss for them. And this type of living their life in this manner allows them to really embrace the best parts of that person that they were connected to when they were younger. You have this other card of Freedom and another kind of cage card. So here, group number 4, there's going to be a big aspect of your future spouse where the idea of freedom, the idea of commitment, confinement, that's going to be an issue that comes up between you two. You have this card of strength here. So your future spouse, group number 4, is someone who they know themselves, they accept themselves, they accept their shortcomings, they really are they're very positive. They are very much a good person. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're always going to make the decisions that, make you happy or other people happy, but they're doing what is best for them. And there's this happiness card. So group number 4, your future spouse is going to be happy. They are going to aim for that, their happiness. And again, it could be related to this loss that they had, that their goal is to live in the now, live and be happy. And it could be also, maybe they had someone that they cared about who didn't do these things, who was confined, who was unhappy, who, was living the past, who was feeling that they had to live by certain rules. So your future spouse is kind of doing what they can to be in a positive, good place, sense of balance, and a sense of constantly being okay to change. Maybe, it could be to some degree, maybe they grew up in a home where their parents were kind of like, ended up splitting up because someone was changing. And it was like this expectation of, I thought things were always going to be this way, and somebody changed and the other person didn't really like that. You have this card of prosperity. So group number 4, your future spouse is really going to be able to bring in a sense of abundance in their life, whatever that is for them. They are someone who, like I said, people are going to be drawn to, and you're going to be drawn to. And recognizing, what kind of triggers them is going to be kind of key, because this aspect of freedom versus confinement versus like just allowing things to happen, it's going to be something that impacts your future together. So I'm going to close off with a couple messages from your future spouse. So you have Bobcat Spirit, Life is a Mystery, and you have Dream Thief, Refusal of the Call. So here the message is, with the Bobcat Spirit, Life is a Mystery, recognizing that you might not always have the answers. You might not always know what, the reason is, what the outcome is, and, recognizing that there is can be something greater than yourself at work. That's something that your future spouse wants you to recognize as, this aspect of curiosity and this aspect of, freedom, and this concept of living in the now is to really explore all those mysteries and being okay with not having a specific end path. With this Dream Thief, Refusal of the Call, it's almost a personal message for you to recognize that if you had some kind of, dream as a child or even now to be more playful, to go outside of, the box, to color outside of the lines, kind of recognizing, your opportunities for freedom. It's kind of, what would you do if this cage, if the door was not open, if you had to, if there was a limited time frame for your cage to be open, would you answer the call, or would you want to be back in the cage where you feel more comfortable? So here, these are kind of big messages from your future spouse. So I'm hoping that this provides a helpful perspective for you, group number 4. We'll see you next time. Take care.